Good morning, everybody. This is Chris out here in Hawaii, just taking a look at the London Open. I'm going to kind of run through the process and we'll see if we have any trades today. So, first site I typically go to here is Talking Forex. I know others use other sites, but this one's free. And in the trading business, anything where there's no cost is a good thing. I'll always look at the morning call here at the London Open before Frankfurt gets up and running. And I really like to look at these four bullets here. There's usually bullets at the top of the report. Kind of gives you kind of a recap of the day without going through all the minutia. So, Asian Index cautious ahead of today's risk events. So really, it seems like the trading's been pretty muted with the jobs report for the U.S. and Canada coming tomorrow, or coming later today, excuse me. It's evening here in Hawaii. U.S. trade continues. President Trump noted progress has been made, but no deal done yet. So we're kind of waiting to see with the China-U.S. trade deal. So nothing yet there. So some positive tones, but nothing that I would bet the bank on. May is drafting letters for U.S. task corporate extension, offer respectively. So Brexit continues to kind of go back and forth here. Updates in terms of news, we've got the German industrial output, U.S. Canadian jobs reports. So that's the big one right there. So we kind of want to wait and see what happens with this report, because that's going to tell you, how strong really the U.S. is kind of faring against the global, turn down as of late, and to a lesser extent, Canada, who's been pretty bullish over the last week or so. Sometimes we'll read through here if there's some big news coming out, but really with Brexit, it's just kind of more of the same. It's a wait and see. I like to look at the FX part. This is really the key one that you want to look at here. So DAX was steady ahead of TS1 gains, demise California. So bout of weak data from Germany on the euro, but euro seems to be kind of hanging around that 112 level. So you could say it's a weak currency right now, but it's been interesting. There's been some soft data coming out over the last few days for the euro, and it's really holding strong at that 112 level. It really hasn't, tested any significant level below that. Pound, I'm not even interested in looking in right now. Really, I'm looking for anything that we can trade off of. Kind of more of the same of what the bullets said. Lack of data, indecisive risk tone. Surge in iron prices, so that could be interpreted as bullish for the Aussie, and there is some underlying hope on the U.S.-China trade deal, so that's underpinning the Aussie right now. But kind of reverse here on reforecasting. I'm not really interested in that. So you could say euro would be a weak currency. Aussie would be a fairly strong one. So if you wanted to take a trade, you could do that. The next thing I'll look at before I go open a chart is I like to look at Forex Live here. So I know there's sites that offer Squawk services, but I don't trade that fast. So I like to just kind of see if there's anything interesting on here. This is a pretty cool site. They update it consistently. So, request Brexit. Just want to see if there's anything interesting here that we would find appealing, especially related to the euro or the Aussie. It's just all Brexit stuff. But if there is a long delay, that does bode well for the euro. So that that kind of paints a little bit of a picture there. The Swiss, nothing really interesting. Oh, here's one. Construction activity provides some green shoots for Germany. So construction's up in Germany, but industrial production's down. Manufacturing is weaker export orders. So kind of a mixed report there for the euro. So, once again, I think with poor German data, you could interpret it as weak, but I don't think it's weak enough to really, put some meat and potatoes behind here. So let's go look at the euro Aussie and see what the chart looks like, just to see what's up here. So I like to look at the 1 hour chart, kind of take a picture back. So really, I like to do retracements here. So I'd be looking at something downward. You can kind of see how it retraced here, went down, but it looks like there's a heavy level of support right here based on that wick there of the candle. So I would say this level is pretty strong. So I wouldn't trade it unless there was something really significant, on weakness for the euro and strength on the Aussie. And even then, I'd probably want it to break below this and then retrace up to this level and get in at that. So, the hardest thing to do when you're trading is really sit on your hands sometimes. But, a trader that I knew, always told me that, trading is going through this process that I'm showing you. So it's not necessarily having to be in the markets. It's doing the process. So you're trading as long as you're doing the process. So that's the look right now. Let's see how these jobs reports come out here for the U.S. and the CAD, and we'll see if we have anything early next week. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Mahalo.